Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Toya if you are new, and I am back with another video. So in today's video, I'm kind of doing a little update on my sub job. I did a video earlier this year saying that I was going to be a substitute teacher. That was, I think, in like April, which school where I am ends in May. And I was going out of town for a week vacation anyway, so I wasn't really pushing it back then. So, of course, once it started getting closer to the end of the summer, I started kind of reaching back out to them to go ahead and finish the process so that I could start subbing this school year. So, I finally got everything situated, and it took forever because when they did my background check, a ticket came up, a speeding ticket came up, and then I didn't pay the ticket and I had a warrant, and it was like a big deal over the speeding ticket. So it took a little minute, but I eventually got it situated, and I finally started subbing in September. So that's 3 months. So I have officially been subbing full time for 3 months, and it's fun. I like it. So when I first went into subbing, it was supposed to be a part-time thing. When I finally got everything situated and I talked with the lady at the main office, she was asking me did I want to do part-time or full-time. And I had originally told her part-time, but then I thought about it. And I was like, well, actually I will try full-time because I was trying to quit the job I had anyway. So I started out just like a regular sub. I would go to different schools. So the part-time would be you just hop on the app and you pick whatever days you want to sub, you pick up that day. Full-time would be a permanent sub, which is you'll go to that same school daily. More about that later. So when I first started doing it, I did not want to go to a like the one school. I didn't want to do the permanent because I know I get bored easily, and I just knew like if I'm going to the same school every day, I'm not gonna like it. Like it's not for me. My mind moves. I can't. I don't know. I can't explain this. So I was like, I'm not gonna do the permanent. I'm just gonna stick with the going picking the schools and picking it up that way. Like I can still do that full time, but it's not as set in stone as being a permanent sub. So the first month I went on the app, and when I tell you I filled it up, like I filled my month up so fast. Like I printed out some blank calendars and I filled up the month, like what days I was going to. I picked out my days, and I wrote it on the calendar. So the first month I filled up my calendar quickly, and I think it was because I had picked up a 7-day job at the end of September. So it was that a whole week, and then the Monday and Tuesday of next week leading into the end of September. And I was able to fill the other days in fine. So I just kind of floated around the different schools when I first started. So I feel like my lash off. When I came into this, I automatically said no middle schools, no high schools, period. I was strictly going to do elementary schools, and I was going to stick with third and lower. So the first couple of assignments that I picked, my first assignment ever, I kid you not, was at a magnet school, which is like, I guess for gifted kids, and it was ISI teacher. So that was really freaking boring, but I mean, it was entertaining in the end because I had 2 kids in there and they were hilarious. So then after that, I started doing special education aid. So the aid just basically means the teacher's there, I'm just in there with them. Most special education, you have to have a certain amount of teachers versus, students. The ratio has to be balanced. So that was fine. The first time I went to this particular school, it was fine. And so I just started picking up more aid positions because I was like, okay, I prefer to be in the classroom with somebody. And it worked out fine. Apparently a lot of aides was out, so I was able to get those positions, no problem. I finally accepted my first assignment alone, which I think was kindergarten, but it was at a pretty good school. And Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I made it through the day. Now, I will say that when I went to the first school I was subbed at, they asked me did I want to be permanent there. And like that was my first time ever subbing, so I definitely didn't want to just jump in head first and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Now, granted, I will say I did tell them yes, I would do it. But then when it came down to getting everything rolling, I didn't hear from them. So I was just like, you know what? It's a sign. Like I didn't want to do it permanent like that, no way. So I was like, bet, don't worry about it. Like she ended up calling me like a week after, like, sis, I need to be working now. Like you're playing. You played yourself. So yeah. That and then the school that I did my first solo sub job at, they asked me to be permanent because I had did a special education aid with one of the teachers. And she was just like, she is so good. Like, they would always say I'm so good, which I'm good at everything I do, period. But, like, all the teachers loved me. So, they had asked me to be permanent there, which I later found out they don't even have any permanent sub positions available. They're filled. So, I still didn't want it at the time. And then, like I said, I had booked my month out. So, I wasn't going to clear my schedule. Like, you know, so I wasn't going to drop those other jobs. So I did my first month just hopping around, hopping around, hopping around. So that was September. Okay, October comes, y'all. And I filled up like the first week maybe, but it was just like it wasn't no sub jobs available. And I'm like, now what's going on? Because just last month, baby, the jobs was overflowing. So I was like, well, I wonder if it's like, well, she had so many jobs last month, then she can only get so many this month. Like my mind runs. So I was like, I wonder if that's the case. So when I was on my long term, a 7-day job, I remember the lady who runs everything, she had sent out a text. It was like she needed some permanent subs, and she just sent like a list of schools saying she needed permanent subs at it. And I was just like, I've already kind of booked her for my month. I ain't really finna mess with it. So then the next day, the text comes out again, and I think she had called me or something. I missed the call. So finally, I'm looking at the list again. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take a permanent position. So I end up reaching out to her and telling her I wanted to accept a permanent position. But I had already accepted, some other jobs. And I asked her, would I be able to drop those and just go ahead and start the permanent? Because, like, the way the permanent position worked, so I was on that long term, which was the Monday through Friday, and then that Monday, Tuesday. They wanted me to start the permanent that Wednesday. But I had already had all those other jobs lined up. So she was like, she'll go in and see if she can drop blah 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 blah. So yeah. Long story short, she was able to drop them. And I took the permanent position at the school I'm currently at now. But before I go too far, I do have a list and I want to go over all this stuff. So I talked about how long I've been subbing. I talked about I wanted to weigh my options. I talked about I didn't want to do permanent, no middle or high schools. So I had 2 schools that I vowed to never go back to them. Both of them were elementary schools, okay? And I vowed to never go back to those schools, not because of the children, but because of the teachers. So I'm the type of person that if I'm going to be, like, I'm a sub, so if I'm subbing and I'm at your school and I know I'm going to be subbing for you later in the week, I'm going to try to come meet you, let you know who I am, see if it's anything I need to know. And at this one school, those teachers were just so rude, so, like, unwelcoming. And I was just like, baby, you need me? I don't need you. And, like, I know I did half a day at this school, and the teacher was late, but not because she wasn't at the school, but because she was in the office talking. So luckily, like, during the time I was supposed to leave, the kids were at like PE or something. So I was like, well, I had an aide in there. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the office to see where this teacher is because I gotta go. And I get to the office and I've never seen this lady because the first sub I was subbing before, she was rude. So I didn't even bother trying to meet nobody else. And I went to the office and I'm asking the secretary and I'm like, yeah, is Miss So-and-so here? And the lady was standing there and it got quiet and they were like, oh, she right here. She right there. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm leaving. Like, looking stupid. Like, girl. So, yeah, I vowed to never go back to that particular school for that reason. Because, like, I don't like that. And then the second school that I vowed to never go back to, y'all. I went to that school twice. And, like, you'll know the first time you go most times, whether you'll go back or not, but they can trick you that first time too. So the first time I went, it was fine. The second time I went to the same classroom. I was an aide, and like I said, I did special education the whole time. And the way that the kids would react to the teacher made me very uncomfortable. So I had just called my cousin when I got in my car, and I was like, girl, I'm not coming back here. Like, it's something going on in this classroom that I don't want no parts of. So boom, vowed to never go back there again, and that was that. So I chose my school that I'm at currently, and I love it. I love it. I remember the last day at the 7-day assignment, the school I'm at now had called me because they needed a sub. And I was like, well, I'm currently on an assignment, but I will be at your school tomorrow permanently for till May. And the excitement that the lady on the phone, the secretary had on the phone, I felt like right then I made the best decision because she was so excited that I was coming there. And it just made me feel like really good and really excited to go to that school. So I definitely, literally love the school that I'm at now. I do. So as a permanent sub, I go to school Monday through Friday. And if a teacher is out and nobody picked up that sub assignment, then I'll go in that classroom. So basically, teachers still have to put in their days in the sub app, just like I was picking them up before, to give somebody the opportunity to pick it up. If they don't pick it up, that's where I come in at. The first day I went to this school, I had a class. After that, it was literally 2 weeks I had no class. But this school has made me feel like I have a classroom where I can put my stuff. And I go around now that I have like a system, so to speak. Like I help teachers. So I like make copies if they need it, or like for the lower grades, they work out in workbooks a lot. So I rip the pages out because apparently kids will throw tantrums, baby, if things don't go their way. So I help them with stuff like that. Sometimes I'll go still go in classrooms. Like if I know a kid was having a hard time, if I was in a class, I'll go in there and sit with that, child or whatever. Sometimes I'll go help in the library. I'll go in art or music. I just really just be around the school and ready to sit in the classroom if needed. And then some days it's like teachers have meetings, so they'll be, need to be at our class for like an hour or so. I'll go in their class during that time. So I mean, everybody be like, it sounds like a sweet job, which it is. The only thing is I have to be there 7:30 to 2:45. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be even if I don't have a class, I have to be there. When in my mind, I'm like, I gotta be doing something else. But I mean, the days are usually pretty quick, so I do like that. So yeah, I like it. I really do. I'm not gonna lie, it's been on my mind. I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video, to go to school to become a teacher. But I know they don't make a lot of money, which I know you're not supposed to go into a career for the money, but baby, listen. Okay. Y'all know what's up. And so then, a lot of the teachers now will tell me, well, go on the website, the actual school district website, and apply for a job there. And I'm like, nah, sis, I'm good, because they don't get paid. I mean, I ain't gonna say that, but because I don't get paid either. But okay, so I went on the website, and I made, hold on, because I did the math. Okay, so boom, I got it right here. The aid pay was $13.41 to $14.58 an hour, versus as a sub you get paid $95 a day, which equals out to $13.57. So technically, if an aide is getting paid minimum, I'm making more than them because of the payout, and they get paid once a month. I get paid every Friday. I don't know if I could take a drastic change like that to my income. I guess it would be the same, but just to get it once a month, I don't think I have. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I can do that. So my thought process was, I'm gonna finish the school year out like I am, and then go from there. But another thing too, if I accept a position with the school district itself, I'll be confined to one room, more than likely. And I don't want that. So I'm really weighing my options, and I'm gonna go because like it's still like not that great because like we out for Thanksgiving. I don't get paid, but they still get paid. So you know what I'm saying? I have to think about like all of that as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So I want to finish the school year out the way that I am, which is I'm through like a contractor. So I'm gonna finish the school year out that way, and then I have time now to make the decision to, what I'm gonna do next school year. If I'm even still interested, like I don't know what be wrong with me. Like I'd be obsessed with something and then I don't want to do it no more, and that's my biggest fear. So like I had applied to go to school for early childhood education, but I'm like I'm gonna spend all that money, and then by the time I finish, I ain't gonna even want to be a teacher no more. Who want them problems? Who got coin like that to blow? Not me. Okay. So yeah, that's just a little update with my sub life. It's good. Life is good. I really truly love it. I do for like, and the kids are so sweet. Like, and like I had vowed to never do anything over third grade. When I say you, the fifth graders, they're my babies. Like the first time I went in fifth grade, I was hesitant, and the only thing I don't like about the fifth grade is they switch classes, so I don't really get to know all of them like I do the other grades, which I know some names. I be feeling so bad because the teachers be like, "Hey, miss," and I'm like, "Hey, baby," like this kid knows my name. I remember I went in the lunchroom one day, y'all. The whole table, the little kids, like it was first grade. They was like, and I'm like, "Oh God, cause I think these children know me." But I mean, I was telling the librarian about it. She was like, "Don't feel bad. It's like 600 of them versus one of you. So yeah, they're gonna remember your name as opposed to you remembering everybody's name." And I do have some people's name I remember. Some because they were really really good. Some because they were really really bad. Well, not really really bad, but they was bad. Some because they won't let me forget. Okay, but I genuinely, I really, really really enjoy it. And that's another. I'm gonna see how everything go. So yeah, that's just my little update with my sub life. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.